Hello everyone and welcome to this conversation session. We are delighted to be here in Valence at the Aerospace Development Center to talk about innovation topic and innovation at SKF. And I'm thrilled to be joined by Annika Olme and Gregory Zimmerman today on the site. So thank you both for joining.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
Always great to be here.
Exactly. And so today we'll deep dive into innovation topic and we'll discuss about how technology is essential to SKF long-term success and development. And yes, so we'll have this discussion together. So Annika, let me start with you. So when it comes to innovation, we are today in a very highly competitive industrial landscape. How would you say that innovation is essential to SKF long-term success?
I think we can only look at our history. Actually, innovation and technology and always pushing those boundaries together with our customers is why we are where we are today. We have so much great innovations that have changed the shape of the industries that we act in, and so many technologies where we are the leader. But I have to say, sometimes we forget to tell the world about that. So I think we have to be a little bit better actually at telling the whole world about how we are a technology leader, a proud technology leader. And I think innovation and technology is really what creates the customer value. New customer problems, issues, challenges that we address every day, every week, every year, now and also for 10 years from now. So it's inherently what we do. It is what keeps our customers happy. It is what keeps our competitors on their toes. And I believe also that is what creates the value in this company. So it's essential, and it has been for more than 100 years.
Yeah, exactly. And about this heritage that you mentioned,
Yes.
How would you say that this long story heritage actually shape the industry and how technology and research is developed today? We are building on something that we have for over a century with a self-aligning ball bearing. So it's
that's the starting point. That's our first really successful innovation. Yeah, and I think actually, if you look at it now, we have this concept about customer-centric innovation, where we know that we have to work together with our customers, and it starts actually with research and technology, building that base of being technology leaders in core technologies like, tribology, material science, steel and heat treatment, seals technology, ceramic materials and development of that, but also software and AI. Those are all parts of our technology strategy that actually shapes our competitive base. The next step is, of course, to work closely with our customers to create products and solutions from that knowledge that matter to them, that bring them forward. And then, of course, our application engineers who are out there every day working with our customers, tapping into all the technology chain of SKF. I always think about it like one application engineer out there is actually equal to 1,500 experts in the room. You can tap into that whole goodness of our knowledge through that window. And then we have kind of accelerators where we should move faster, like working with external innovation and AI and digital tools and so on. But all of this, I think, is a super solid framework that's built on this innovation a decade ago, but we have gone far beyond that actually now.
Yeah. No, and I think it's also interesting, Annika, where you say, laying the base, being here in Valence, where for the aerospace customers, it starts always with an R&D type project.
Yeah.
Right? It's so much application-based innovation that becomes the next aircraft or the next engine in the future. Then we have, of course, subcomponents.
Yeah.
So I think it's you couldn't expand any more on that than when you bring in an aerospace type example to what you just mentioned.
I think that's right. And actually tomorrow we will spend time at INSA Lyon, one of our university partners. And that is also a very important part of all of this. We need that base foundation to be able to work with our customers. Yeah. And I think aerospace, that's more evident than anywhere else.
I think so, yes.
From the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, exactly. And Annika, also you mentioned about new technology like AI. And how would you say that this new technology really bring real customers benefits? Yeah.
So we have kind of a two-pronged approach to AI and digitalization. And the first one is really related to the AI tools that we bring to our customers. We bring it in our condition monitoring equipment, in how we predict the future of bearing life. How do we, really bring those digital tools to the customer perspective? That's one part. And the SKF Product Assistant is another great example of a customer tool. Anyone listening to this can also go to skf.com and use the SKF Product Assistant. Ask anything in the generative AI interface, and you can get an answer of all technical information that we are willing to share externally. Strong, you will have to, and that actually also gives us an edge in terms of our application engineering and customer service is faster because of this, because we use it ourselves as well. So that brings me to the second part of AI and digitalization, and that's efficiency and how we actually become better as a company through digital tools and AI. I mean, the SKF Product Assistant is one example. Another one is design automation, where we are actually working on, automating parts of the design work we do to become faster, serve our customers faster, and using AI to its full potential for us. But also supply chain planning, inventory planning. There are so many possibilities. Some of them we're working on already, but some we still have to tackle in the next years. And that's valid for aerospace as well.
Absolutely,
I think.
Absolutely. I think I couldn't agree more. And what we see also is, in aerospace, you do have a lot of documented technical knowledge, and we really see that powerful for our internal handbooks.
Yeah.
Right? How do we get through that in the fastest
Exactly.
way to answer the customer?
Yes.
Both how we use it on the external, right, with the, as you said, with application engineering, but also internally, we have this huge power of all this 100 years of knowledge that is sitting at our fingertips.
Yeah.
How we can search it faster.
And to add to that, I think also when it comes to those two areas of AI, one of the areas we can really use external tools, we can steal with pride what others have done. How do we automate the finance function? All of that. That's where we can have a strategy to move fast and actually do what others have done.
Yeah.
But in the area of where it's close to the core, when it's about our design, when it's about what we do in our own condition monitoring equipment, then we have to lead ourselves and create the AI tools ourselves and own them. So a little bit of a different approach in the different parts here.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, and Greg, you mentioned about collaboration with aerospace customers, and we know that innovation with customers in aerospace is one of the key pillars, the way of working. So, how would you can you explain how we are working close to our customers to ensure we support them throughout the full product life cycle, from design, manufacturing to MRO?
Yeah, no, thanks, Sophie. And it's,
journey.
in aerospace, when you talk about the full life cycle journey, right, sometimes it takes a little bit of patience, right? Because we talk about ideas that start even 10, 15 years prior, and maybe right now are just becoming, something launched or actually reaching series production. So you're making a bet at that point, whatever time period, if you say it takes 5 to 8 years, it can kind of be typical, especially for aero engine or even airframe bearings. You're taking a bet on which customers do you partner with, and of course we're partnered with all the largest ones and the ones that we see will be the winners in the future, to then make sure that you get the prototype and work that the whole way through testing up through full technology readiness and launch to the market. So at the end of the day, we don't say no to a lot of things, right? We have to be part of the big players. Then of course you have other parts of the industry now with eVTOL or some of the electrification. There you have to be more picky and choosy because there's a lot of these companies, a little bit just like the automotive industry went through, where you might have 20 companies and at the end which 2 or 3 might be the winners. So there you have to really pick. And as you say though, if we go back to the more traditional customers, what also is important to always keep in your mind is that an aircraft is designed for 30 or 40 years, right? And once you start after the first major overhaul, which is going to be in that first 5 to 8 years of series production, then starts the MRO. And everybody knows that's also where you start to make the real money, is on the MRO side of things. So you have to be thinking, and I think what we're doing much more now in our design process is to have MRO first in mind.
Yeah.
So how can we design for repair?
Yeah.
What could we be doing different? We talked even a little bit today about additive manufacturing or laser cladding. What could that possibly bring? What can we do with hybrid bearings that might be new and radical? We have components that maybe aren't aged, and are people putting them to the side when they could be reused?
Yeah.
So I think it's really exciting to see the possibilities we have when we put MRO or that next 20 years of life that the aircraft still has into our initial design phase. So a lot of work there going on.
Yeah.
But I guess with these new areas that are evolving, like the electric flight and so on, that means that we have to be more flexible and nimble as well then, I guess.
Absolutely. And it's still to be decided whether those are going to be full aerospace parts.
Yeah.
They have a lot more redundancy.
Yeah.
Or is there even a closer bridge between aerospace and industrial?
Yeah.
Where we see the possibility to use maybe an industrial bearing that has aerospace certifications.
Yeah.
So it's opening a totally new market space for us to say exactly what, now you go from 2 engines to you might have 12 electric motors.
Yeah.
So you don't have some of the same risks with these things. At the same time, there's still not the regulations and the specifications fully developed. So we're all learning a little bit as we go, the same way as the car industry was 15 years ago when the revolution started, right?
And it shows the strength of SKF as a whole, I think.
Absolutely.
The endless opportunities that we are grasping, of course. And also, Greg, so the aerospace industry has very unique and complex demands. And do you have example on how we are meeting these challenges with our solutions, or we are working with customers? You mentioned that, but very specific.
Yeah, it's always safety and quality without compromise first, right? That starts with everything. We always, of course, like to talk about the new applications and how fast we're growing, but behind that is a lot of people doing a lot of hard work with no compromise. Right, because that's the fundamentals. That's when we all get on an airplane and we feel good about it. It's for those reasons.
We can all relate to that.
And we can all relate to that, right? It's why we feel good about getting on the airplane when you go back to Gothenburg, Annika.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we've got that covered.
That's good. I'm glad.
So with that being said, then of course there's regulatory bodies. There's a lot of things that every day our operations, our factories, our engineers are all making sure that we're also the leader in that. Because that stack of paperwork, which is now hopefully going to have AI and other things coming along to help us along, that's all just as important or even more important than when we talk about the big future projects or even the high series production, right? It's the fundamentals of what we do at the operational level and, of course, to make sure our operations are world class, right? Yeah. I mean, we talk a lot about with our journey of SKF production systems or the SPS and what that can bring when we're doing 5S, simple things can make a huge difference, right? When the customer comes and visits. And they see that, and it's highly recognized with the investments that we've made over even the last 3 years. Yeah. That SKF is in a totally different position than some of our competitors when it comes to what we're doing to upgrade our systems when it comes to this, no compromise quality. Yeah. So that is in the DNA of aerospace, not only our customers, but certainly all of us at SKF.
Yeah, of course. And I understand that we are at SKF Aerospace, we are equipped not only to meet these challenges, but to exceed also the expectation for customers with continuously being...
It's one of the biggest competitive advantages you can have, is when you can really raise the bar and not only meet the regulations, but be a step ahead.
Good. Good. Annika, when it comes to development of industry, we've seen rapid technological changes happening and growing sustainability demands. And my question is building on that, how do you see SKF innovation to continue strategically support the evolving aerospace industry in this continuously changing landscape?
Yeah, no, I think in many ways, because of the demands in the aerospace industry for safety. I mean, you talked about that safety, quality. That's a given, and that it's. I think it actually brings a lot of knowledge to us that we use in other industries subsequently. Yes. And how we push the boundaries, how we actually make the best steel materials that we can also then use in other industries, for example. So I think actually we are in a very positive way being challenged by the aerospace industry customers, and that actually comes to the benefit of the whole industrial market for SKF in the end. But that also means that we have to stay on our toes. It shows the importance of that technological foundation. We need to have that. We need to have that strong core. We need to be at the forefront in tribology and lubrication, because otherwise we can't push the boundaries and we can't do it in a reliable, safe way unless we are really, really number one in those areas. So it just keeps us on our toes in a very positive way, and it spills over to all of SKF, I would say.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can only agree with that. That hybrid bearings, right? We talked about the priority that has. I mean, that started with Aerospace and NASA in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
When the first one. So, it's that technology transfer.
Yes.
What we do today in aerospace will certainly, parts of it, make it way into industrial applications, automotive applications, because there is a huge safety factor in a lot of this stuff, and it can be extremely useful. I mean, just like, again, we were talking today about the launch of the patent bay.
Yes.
The first one, an aerospace patent. I mean, we want to do exactly that.
Yeah.
Spread that knowledge and make sure that maybe it's not only great to have Arctic 15 and an aerospace application, but could you use it in high-speed machinery, machine tools?
Exactly.
What else can it be used for? I think that's exactly what's behind our patent bay.
I think so, exactly, and that's super exciting. And I think also, if you look then at the electrification, we can see that in automotive, but also in other industrial areas. That's going to spill over to help us in aerospace, So we are strong together, and I think that's just we should be proud of that strength as a company.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's very strong expertise. And when we speak of industry priorities, so Greg, you mentioned the industry landscape, and we know that carbon neutrality and next generation propulsion are top of mind. And how is SKF using its innovation to drive the transformation?
Yeah. No, so the starting point I think there is that we were talking a little bit earlier that sustainability in some way has been at the root of the last 100 years of aviation, right? So even whether you call it gaining fuel efficiency or next generation engine, it's in the DNA of aerospace to be more sustainable with each next generation of aircraft. So that, for us, is a very natural fit. Now that, of course, we put such a spotlight and importance from SKF, but also we see our customers now joining. The business case, of course, is always there, because the more fuel you save, right? And it also links the very same to MRO. The more we can reuse an MRO bearing and repair it, there's huge sustainability gains there. So it's such a natural fit, and I see that those areas that were already there are only just becoming more accelerated. So, I think it's there. What we also, though, see more and more will be coming in the future is on the supply chain side of things. So I think we've been quite region for region also in aerospace, especially because when you look at the defense segment and other parts, you buy your steel from typically the country of origin where the aircraft is going to be made and so on. That's being more and more put in the spotlight with geopolitics, and of course with now we look at the CO2 footprint from an in-to-in basis. So I can only see it growing, and we have many of our customers who are coming and looking at SKF though as really one of the pillars. And we've had customers like Safran invite us to present and ask, hey, can we see how you're doing it? Because we hear a lot of good things. So I think that's always one of the most rewarding parts, is when we have a major OEM come to us and say, we really like what you're doing, and how can we be part of that?
Trusted partner.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we discussed, I have one more question for you, Annika. We discussed about collaboration, and my question is how important is open innovation and collaboration for accelerating technology development in sectors like aerospace?
No, I think it's important everywhere. It's evident that it's really important in aerospace, but also for the whole industrial market and automotive. So I would say if we take two aspects of this, first of all, collaboration within the company. I mean, we have to be super good at working together within SKF, throughout the TRL levels or between different geographies or different organizations. We have to build trust so that we have a culture where we can actually collaborate in a good, fruitful way, and that will only bring us forward. But collaboration also with external parties will make us faster. Now, if we then look at that, I think universities, we have since many, many decades actually worked together with university partners. And, we have 3 UTCs, as we call it, where universities that we work more closely with. And that actually forms a foundation of our research and technology work. And we also bring in our customers in that, so it's really going all the way out. So that's one important part, to dig deep and to make sure that we dip into the best knowledge in the world in the topics that are important to us. Tribology, lubrication, ceramic material, all of those things, steel and heat treatment again. Now the other part there is, how do we gain technologies that are emerging, and how do we get them into our portfolio quickly? like AI, like new emerging technologies in how to make sustainable materials, for example, that we might not have a strong heritage in ourselves. There we have actually now launched SKF Ventures in the past months, and there we're really looking at our challenges and problems and issues that we have. How can we solve them quickly with startups or other external partners and bring them in so that we can actually bring outside-in technologies fast into solving our customers' problems. So that is another muscle that we have been strengthening over the past years, and just launched a new setup there with some great early successes. So those are really accelerators that makes us move faster, but also makes us better, I would say.
Great. I think that's very clear that innovation is at the heart of everything we do at SKF, that it's a driver to bring more value to our customers, of course, with collaboration. And I would like to have more questions for you both, because today, so you spent the day at the Aerospace Development Center here, and I would love to hear your feedback on these visits. Annika, this is your visit that you've had today. So what is your impression, feeling about, what you've seen here today?
So a couple of reflections. I am, first of all, very grateful for the warm reception and for the very open and candid and interesting discussions that we've had throughout the day. It has been, I've met, I think, almost everyone on the site. So really thank you to all of you. I thoroughly enjoyed the day, and I didn't only enjoy the day, I also learned a lot. I am fascinated by, the technology that we have here. Just the way that we approach everything and become better every day, and the advanced technology that we see, both from a testing perspective, but also from a development perspective. That is absolutely world class and very fascinating. And I was going around touching everything before on the floor, so that was very, very good.
Yeah, she went through about 3 sets of gloves.
Exactly. So that was great. But the other thing that comes through for me is the culture and the way that you have a trusted culture here. You are challenging each other, you are supporting each other, and it's very natural, and it's evident that you have, the psychological safety to really also innovate and work together. And I think that is the foundation of anything. Yeah. And it's only evident as you go to see people and get to be ingrained in interactions that you can see that. And that I am very impressed with, and I think that is something to cherish and to value and to safeguard. Yeah. So that's my feeling, because in a highly volatile, innovative environment like we are in the aerospace industry, that is the foundation for anything to work. Yeah. So I'm super impressed by that. Well done.
Yeah. No, and I could just add that, the idea, and when we developed this in 2015, right, to have this facility and to turn it into what it is today, from where it's transitioned and grown, it has also only been possible also with the support of RTD, right? And the team in Houghton, we have an incredible connection there with, and I could name many other labs and facilities around the world in SKF. So having that collaboration is, also a huge difference maker. We have people that we've traded, that are sitting here today that started their career maybe at RTD.
Exactly.
Many of them are also, came from our UTCs.
Yes.
And we've met some of those young people that came from Insa Lyon that we'll also meet tomorrow a little bit. So, it's the total picture, though, of SKF Group. And for me, this is just the perfect connection, right? When we look at the way that this team works together with the team in Houghton and the collaboration, and that we always have firm customer projects behind this. Many times even customers or industry funding up front. So the business case becomes quite easy to say, what do we do next when the funding's there, and then we have a great support from the group in moving these things forward.
And it's all about that customer-centric innovation. That's how we actually do that. So
exactly.
I'm really happy and excited from what we've seen today.
Yeah, it was really an honor to have you both here today. And I think, it's a lot of highlighting commitment of SKF towards innovation. And thank you so much for your insights, your passion. And let's keep the conversation going.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.